But 27, flipping the script with Joy and Becky. Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, we've been just talking about what we've been doing the past week because we've been doing our own thing and not doing videos. And
hmm
I've not noticed you a lot on social media. I've been on social media, but I've been in a bubble. I've
Oh,
just
it
been.
just popped up that we're live, so I just got the notice on my phone. But yeah, no, I was sick last week with strep throat. Well, my daughter had it. I think it was the second time in the last month, and I got it the first time, and I got it the second time, and of course, she takes the antibiotics, but I take my natural
Yep.
remedies, and our healing time is pretty much the same, I'd say, but. Um, I prefer to take natural antibiotics, natural medicines because it's just, I don't like wiping out my immune system in order to kill something.
Same.
So, but I've also been experimenting with a new like homemade deodorant. So I've been going through a detox process. I didn't realize that even the aluminum free deodorant um, instead of putting aluminum in them, the ones you get from the store, they load them up with so many other chemicals. Propylene glycol or something like that, and dipropylene glycol, which is basically antifreeze. And I'm like, putting antifreeze on my lymph nodes, like where I was, you know what I mean? And no wonder. And then it had BHT in it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, that's a hormone disruptor. No wonder I've got so many issues. So, or why people have so many of these issues. So I've been going through a armpit detox. Sorry guys, I know it sounds gross, but um, you know, using natural products, you don't realize that we can make these things at home with 2, 3, 4 ingredients that some of us might even have in our kitchen cabinet. So yeah, I've been switching to a lot of different things just because, I've been really looking into the ingredient lists on the things that I'm putting in my body, that I'm putting on my body. Our skin is like the biggest organ on our body. And think about that. We absorb so much through our skin, and whether it's lotion or sunscreen or deodorant or even toothpaste that we're putting in our mouth, there's so many chemicals in these products. And
Sure.
we can, once we have that knowledge, we can make the choice to change what we put in our body. And it's really simple. I find that making my own products is actually less expensive. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of research, but Google has a lot of different answers. You have to dig for them, of course, because it's not going to be the first thing that pops up, because they don't want you taking care of yourself naturally.
Most places, and I found out in 2020 when I got censored, but I found out that they had been censoring holistic the entire time. There is a healing web, it's a poster, and if you share that, you'll basically get censored
Mhm.
and possibly deleted.
Yeah.
um because they want you dependent on their products, they want you dependent on their food, they want you dependent, they don't want you to understand how easy it is to do it yourself,
Yeah.
because that's what our ancestors did, and our ancestors were independent.
Yeah.
They weren't dependent on the government for anything, or the stores for that matter. They
Well, I
only
mean,
went.
before 1940, there was no supermarket. In the 1940s, that's when they started the first supermarket. So think about that. People were growing their own food. They were selling it to each other. They had farmers markets. They were, they had community, where now it's so easy just to Instacart from the grocery store. And, you everything's a convenience. But that convenience comes with a price. And, even though it might be easier to do those things, what is the end result? What are we really saving time on? Because at the end of the day, you're giving up years of your life, potentially. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but you never know how your body's going to react to certain things. And so I'm slowly learning, and slowly making strides to incorporate healthier alternatives into my arena, into my sacred space, my area. Um, because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to have I don't want to be dealing with cancers that I could prevent. That kind of thing. So, the more you know, the more you know.
Important. Yep, and that's why it's important to do detoxes and fast. You don't even need to fast, like just fast one day a month, and just one day a month, and see how much your immune system is boosted by that, because your body has the ability to clean itself out. You're allowing your body to not digest food because your body is constantly digesting food, and that takes energy. That energy is being used for digesting food, could be used for other things like healing your body and getting rid of things that don't belong there. And that's what autophagy is. But if you Google autophagy, it's going to tell you that it's bad and it's starvation, but it's really not. It's actually activating the part of your body that heals you and gets rid of things in your body cells that are gross and don't need to be there.
And
But
also parasites as well. When I've incorporated turmeric into my diet a lot because it's anti-parasitic, which will help to detox a lot of these things that are in our food. I mean, I was just talking to a friend about rice and how there are weevils that grow, that are in the rice shaft. They have to clean them or whatever in the process, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is gross. This is bad. It's in our food." Well, it's in every single rice. It's in all of them. It's not just one brand or what. It's if you let it sit on the shelf long enough, they're going to hatch, and then you're going to see them. It's just that we're not realizing that because we eat it right away. So we're eating the eggs. We don't understand that if you let it sit on the shelf for 6 months to a year, then you're going to see what's growing on that. So when I get food, I put it, or like rice or grains or things like that, I put it in the freezer immediately when it comes home. And then I will let it defrost. I will wash it thoroughly before I'm eating things. Fruits, I'm starting to wash things with either salt water or alkalized water, alkaline water, to try to get all those chemicals off because they are hard. I mean, like seriously, spraying um our produce with chemicals. And so it's our responsibility to take care of our bodies. And like my husband, he's like, "Oh, I don't care, my body's a machine." He's like, everything, he's like, "Everything's toxic, something's gonna kill you. I can't live in fear." And he's right to a point. I don't want to live in fear either. um and so I make those moves for him. But I can't stop him from going to the fast food place. I told him, don't go to McDonald's, for various reasons that we're not going to get into right this moment. But it's just, we're not meant to eat certain kind of things. And I'll leave it at that. We're not meant to eat what's in those foods.
well, a lot of times you'll find that when you do eat them, you're either so exhausted afterwards. This is what happened to me. We went out to eat on Saturday, I think, and we went to Burger King. I think we got a combo thing. And I ate it and I was so damn tired afterwards. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's a telltale sign that it's not good for you if you're tired or if it makes you sick. That's the other thing, is my body has always just flushed it out. If it doesn't agree with me, I flush it out. And so yeah, one way or the other. But
Well,
yeah, he's right. But why put that stress on your body if you don't need to? It's unnecessary um detoxing that we have to do. And literally every single person on this planet is running around with a full colon 24/7, and I don't want to get into that, but it's pretty gross. And if you don't detox, then you should, because you need to clean out your body. It needs to clean itself out. And when you don't clean itself out, what happens? You get cancers.
mhm. Well, because I think it was Dolores Cannon that was explaining that when something when a toxin comes into our body, or something comes into our body that's not meant to be there, our body's natural response is to get rid of it. So it will either cough,
By any means
sneeze, throw
necessary.
up. We'll get a stomach ache. We'll have acid reflux. Something will be reactive to show us that we're not supposed to ingest that. If we continue to take that into our body, and force it down, take antacids, take cough medicines, take all of these things to suppress our body's natural, like, purging, um, desire to purge. If we suppress that by taking more medicines, instead of getting rid of that toxin, we're now taking that toxin in. And so our body's going to find a different way to get rid of that. So whether it's through diarrhea, bowel movements, through the skin, through something, is going to try to come out. And if you keep, you get rashes all over, you put creams on you that have more chemicals in them. You're taking antidiuretics. You're taking all these things to keep this toxin in your body when your body's natural process is to get rid of it. And instead of, going through that, we're like, okay, let's take this medicine. I can't have diarrhea because I have to go to work. Well, no, maybe you should just, run to the bathroom and go to work, but go to the bathroom if you need to, or stay home. I know not everybody has that convenience in this world. My husband certainly
Yeah,
doesn't, but
it ties into everything that we're talking about. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Okay.
they don't want us to function properly because then
They
we
don't
can't
want
be on a 9 to 5 schedule.
They don't want you to use critical thinking. They want you to be, caught up in whatever your 9 to 5. They want you to be caught up in your relationships. They want you
But
to be
yeah, we
caught.
have to be block scheduled, and they start block scheduling at a young age with children at school. They go from, every day you're in one classroom in elementary school, and then they start breaking it up and mixing you up and trying to basically harness you for your future, which is going to be, working in a box somewhere, probably.
Never
Not
did.
necessarily.
None of those jobs ever did sit right with me. I've had really good jobs, but that just wasn't for
Yeah.
me. I've worked for DirecTV. I've worked for United Airlines, and I've worked for, Golden West in South Dakota. I've worked for Volkswagen here. I've worked for, well, it's Volkswagen Group. But anyways, it's like the only thing for those companies is they are harnessing your energy. So not only do you have to deal with your medical conditions, but you go to work every day where they literally harness your energy. And if you live in a blue state, it's more predominant, especially here in California, for them to be doing magic on us all the time. Oh, magic's not real. Yeah, they use it against you all the time, and they tell you it's not real. So there's a
Hollywood. Yeah, look into Hollywood, what the Hollywood branch represents, what the Hollywood tree. Look into that. If you haven't, I know you have, but that's the Hollywood is what was it Merlin or one of the someone had a wand made of from the Hollywood branch or tree or whatever it was. I don't know. Look into it. I'm not an expert on things. I watch things and I listen to things and I read into them. And I use my discernment. That's the most important thing, I think, when I'm researching something, is to use my discernment. And if it feels like it's truth to me, then it's truth to me. It might not be truth to you. You know what I mean? Like it might not, you might be like, oh no, that doesn't really resonate. So that was one thing that
Oh.
I had to address yesterday, because I had posted on Facebook about a funeral procession passing by, and that I was explaining to my daughter that we can send healing, we can send love. I was hit with this wave of emotions, because I can feel the energy of the people and the pain that they're in, and so I know there's a reason that I feel that is so that I can help transmute that. Well, I got attacked by someone saying this is total BS. There's only one who can do that, and that's God, and He's in heaven. And I immediately blocked, deleted comment, and I made a post. Of course, it wasn't for him; it was for me to just express that that might be his version of truth. That's not my version of truth. But while I'm doing these services, which I consider a divine service to transmute and heal people,
Yeah.
I work with the highest light. I'm working with source light. I'm working with God as the driver, and I'm the vehicle. So it was right and wrong in a way. You know what I mean? Like to come at me was not correct.
Wasn't
Maybe his interpretation of what I was explaining was wrong, and he was thinking that that I was saying that I have this healing power, that it's all me. And I think that's a lot of what people get wrong, is they think that because I say that I am divine, I have the divine power. It means that I'm the only one, and I'm like some kind of narcissist that thinks that I run the world.
Yeah.
And that's not how this works. It's that
That's
we're
just
all.
lack of That's
Yeah.
lack of awareness, honestly, and that's just taking out of context because they don't know, they don't listen to you. Just
Mhm.
like it's one comment, though. I mean, you could take one comment out of context, or you can read my entire page. And if you go to read my entire page, good luck, because you're gonna have some kind of awakening. You know what I mean? So good luck
Yeah.
with that. But if you don't want to look at all the things that I share, don't bother judging because it's not worth it. I literally I already know. I've been there. We've been there. We've been in the religious programming. We've been in
Yeah.
the social programming. We've been in the spiritual programming. We understand ego. We understand ego death. We understand shadow work. We understand working the steps. Like we've already gone over so much. Like there's
Yeah.
literally zero reason for anyone to come at us trying to tell us what we need to do unless it's some kind of information correction, which is fine with me. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah,
But
and if somebody wants to come to me and say, "Hey, this is how I feel about it," or but come with me with respect. When somebody comes at me cursing, first of all, that's like, no, we're not playing this game. I'm not going to debate my beliefs with someone else's beliefs because what's true for me isn't true for you. Our beliefs, even mine and yours, Joy, aren't 100% aligned with one another because you are on your own path, I'm on my own path. We have our own truths. So
yep,
I can't expect you to follow the religion of Becky, just like you can't expect me to follow the religion of Joy, even though I don't consider it a religion. But you know what I mean? Like it's not my place to follow your path. And at the same time, it's not my place to tell someone else what their path is or what their path should be based on my idea of what the truth is.
exactly.
So that's why I take so much issue with a lot of these groups that are very pushy. This is the one way, this is the only way. Um, it's not the truth for me. It might be the truth for you, but that's not the truth for me. And I've had my own spiritual experiences where I know that that's not my truth. And if someone wants to stand in judgment of me based on their point of view, is that really what they're meant to be doing? You know what I mean? Like, are we supposed to be judging and condemning other people for their choices? Or, are we supposed to be focusing on ourselves and what we're doing?
Exactly.
Um, you know,
Are we being accountable for our own behavior, or are we just blaming it on the devil on my shoulder? Or, are we listening? Oh, it's the devil on my shoulder. I'm going to blame it on the devil.
well, and
No,
the
the
thing
devil
is,
didn't make
if people
you.
believe that I'm going to burn in hell for my sins for my beliefs, then what does that matter to you? You know what I mean? Why is it so important to you, not you personally, but to
No,
the
I
to
know. To
people
the
who are so evangelical? Why is it so important to you that you save me from something that has nothing to do with you? You know
Yep.
what I mean? I don't understand why I know that it's indoctrination, that it's programming, that it's what they're taught to do, it's what they're told to do, and they follow without question.
From
But
birth. We are taught that
Mhm.
from birth.
Yeah.
Not just, it's like a cult.
Mhm.
It's literally like a
Yeah.
cult because they literally indoctrinate us from birth, and this is how it is. And if you go outside this is the perimeter. If you go outside this perimeter, you're going to go to hell. And it's
Sorry,
satanic.
I put dandelion and clover in my smoothie, and some of it didn't chop up. So
Happens. Eating strawberry. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we start with that indoctrination. And why do you think we are indoctrinated from birth? Because of that, exactly. So as long as they catch us at birth and keep us in this corral, then we won't go to hell. But I'm the kind of person that was
we've
always
already been to hell. That's
I'm
the
the
thing.
sheep that Jesus always had to go catch and bring back because I'm always running away. And that's because my place wasn't in the church.
Mhm.
My place was not in the church. And so people need to understand that my place is not in the church. My place is out here. Although I am working for God full time, although my spirit is connected to God 24/7, even though I have to deal with life, even though I say fuck a lot. And you know what the thing is it's the judgments, you drop all that fucking judgment. First of all, we're judging ourselves.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm hard enough on myself. I don't need someone else condemning me. And through my experience with that we've talked about before, just going into the light, meeting my spiritual team, you know coming back, there's so much that I have experienced that somebody that doesn't even know me would come to me and say, you're completely full of crap. And, it's like,
No.
no, I'm just a reflection of you talking to yourself. And it's hard because I want to be like loved and liked by everybody, but at the end of the day, do I love and like everyone? No. So I can't expect that from the world, and I can't expect people to understand me when they've only got a glimpse. You know what I mean? They don't know the true me. They don't know what I've been through. They don't know what I've
I've
seen.
been I've been married for 10 years, and I've changed so much that he has an idea of me, and he loves this idea of me, but I don't feel like I fit into that description of me anymore. Like, it's different. I'm different now. So it's like me pulling away, we're like all just being stretched right now. So it's like we're being, I hate to say torn, but like we're kind of being not even ripped. I don't like that. It's too rough. Everything happens very gentle and kind and patiently with
Like
source.
pulling
So
apart Velcro.
yeah, it's like pulling apart. It's very slow, but all of us are going through that. Every single one of us is going through that. So it's like, I try not to judge, and people are like expecting, this the rapture and this and that and the not the resurrection, but the rapture. Yeah, I'm always like, what is that damn word? I always forget, but um, there's a reason for that too. But it's like, what do you think? You're just gonna float away and fuck the rest of us, And that's not gonna happen. We're
Well, yeah.
literally.
Well, my mom has said stuff like that, like, "Well, when the rapture happens, I'm going up in it." And I'm like, "Well, if that's even something that happens, I don't plan on going anywhere. I plan on staying here and raising the vibe." And if there's a shift, if there's a split, I don't think it's going to be like where we're starting to see people rot. Whatever. I don't. Everybody's got their interpretation,
all
but
right, we're all rising, but it's a Kundalini rising. It has
yeah.
nothing to do with
I don't think
rising.
it's that we're going to see anything on the physical. Everything that we think is going to happen in like the outside world is happening inside of us. So this ascension is internal. I think that's the trick, is that we've been taught that all of these things are going to happen outside.
It's all
Um,
in. It's
and
in
that's
here.
why they want us looking outside of ourselves. That's why they want us searching outside of ourselves, paying outside of ourselves for services, for to be able to communicate with God. I mean, I grew up in the Catholic faith. You're not, you can't even confess your sins without a priest being in the room. I mean, and be forgiven. Like, that's ridiculous.
It is.
That you need an intermediary, and then, oh, here's the basket at the end, at the exit of the, make sure you leave some money in the poor box on your way out, which, is that actually going to the poor?
No, it's
Or is it
definitely not
going to, going to
going.
pay for somebody that's sitting on a throne wearing red shoes, touching
God,
on
that's
some issues today.
disgusting.
I've
That
got some stuff that I need to work on, so excuse me while I
sounds
process
yes.
some of this. Well, I've got, I'm back and forth with whether I should go to Florida or not, whether I should go visit my family or not. My AC in my car is not like 100%. And my husband is like, "Well, I want to go with you." And I'm like, "Well, we can't afford for you to come too, because then you have to take off work, and then it's another mouth to feed." And my husband is like, he likes to live like a king, especially when he's on vacation. When I go on vacation, I live out of a cooler. I go to the grocery store. I'm like budget Betty,
Yeah,
and or budget Betty. And
exactly.
he's like, "I want to go out to dinner. I want to get the most expensive steak, and I want 4 beers that cost $7 a piece." And it's like, I can't take you with me because a $500 trip just turned into a $2,000 trip because, and, we're going to be losing money with you not at work. Um, so I'm back and forth on whether I'm going to go. It's a lot. Um, and I keep going with the indecision, I'm like, I don't know, back and forth, back and forth. So for me, when I don't know, what direction to take, that usually means don't make a decision right now. So I'm gonna sit on it for a little minute and see how I feel when it gets closer.
Yeah, I was just
Because it's
say
supposed to be a
that.
month from now.
I was going to say that when in doubt, don't do anything. That's how I've been taught, even on the street, when you're doing shiesty stuff. When in doubt, don't do anything. Just
See, you're living on your instinct. On you know, I think living that way, living because both of us had addictions. I wasn't necessarily living on the street. I was kind of a couch surfer. Um, but you have to learn how to be on your toes, think on your toes, be quick-witted, and a lot of that comes from intuition. I think that a lot of people who have addiction and are living in that addiction successfully, I mean, not that you can
how
really live an
successful.
addiction successfully, but maintaining, you have to learn how to adapt, and you have to learn how to live on the fly. And so a lot of that comes with just following your instinct. If something doesn't feel good, you don't go. You know what I mean? If you're getting a bad vibe, you don't go because something bad's going to happen. And so you kind of learn how to use your spiritual tools without even knowing that that's what you're doing as a way to survive.
And no
Uh,
matter what, you never go out between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning. You just don't. You never leave the house between 2 and 4. Stay in the house. It's true.
Yeah,
Trust.
I was usually out still, because in Florida the bars didn't close until well, they closed at 2, and then there was another bar outside the city limits that was open till 5, and then you go to the
That,
strip club that was open till 8, and then they closed the strip club between 8 and 10. So, yeah, it was a seedy life. Let's just
yeah. Well, I didn't really do that too much, to be honest with you, because at the time of my addiction, I wasn't old enough to be in the bars. So I was just a kid. So I was never allowed in the bars. When I was old enough to get in the bars is basically when I got sober. So, yeah, I didn't experience bars until I was like in my 30s, and I decided to test the waters because I was really scared. I didn't want to trigger my addiction again. So I was like, yeah, so anyways, I went and I had drinks, and it was fine. I did nothing. I didn't really like it that much because I always got flush. It always flushes me and makes me red. So I was like, you know what? I really don't like it a lot. I didn't like the way it makes me feel because I like being intact mentally. I like it. But
yes.
I don't like to be not intact. So and smoking marijuana doesn't do that to me. I don't lose my sense of self. I don't have lose my sense of control of my body, and I don't lose my sense of control of my mind. I may be happier, whatever the case, and hungry, but I don't lose myself. You know what I mean?
Hungry.
Yeah, you know what I
That
mean.
just
Well,
comes with it, I
at
think.
first, because now it's been years. I've been smoking since 2012, and there's no side effects. So there's no like munchies or any red eyes or anything. There's nothing. So it's just like that's what I laugh because people have such judgment on marijuana and smoking, and I'm just like, why I don't run around like Snoop Dogg, I don't run around like I don't first of all I don't have that kind of money to smoke that much, and I barely smoke a gram a day. So if you can imagine, they smoke a gram or two or three, four in a blunt. I smoke 1 gram all day. All day. Okay. So it's like
Yeah,
people
if I smoked, which I
you don't
don't,
get it.
it would be like blow it in my ear because that's all I need. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, don't even just like I have a friend
I
who I
don't
hang
know.
out with, and she smokes. And if I'm around her, I'm like, I don't even need to do it. I can just literally sit next to you, and I can pick up on your energy. So there's no point in me doing it because it just has never meshed with me. I go way bonkers, and get very paranoid. So it's never worked for me. It's
Oh my God.
not that I didn't want to be successful, it just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, and honestly, for the longest time, I didn't because obviously you couldn't. It wasn't really legal in a lot of places, so I didn't because I didn't want to break the law, first of all. And obviously, I wanted to. I was obviously very serious about my sobriety.
Mhm.
So, but I didn't do anything until later, and then I was with my friend, and I was hanging out at her house with my now husband. When we first got together, we were hanging out and we went over there and we hung out. We watched 21 Jump Street, the new 21 Jump Street, and it was the first time I got high in like, I mean, 12 years. It was fucking hilarious. It was the best thing ever. I was so freaking high, couldn't get off the couch. But that's like the first things like it was so fun. It was fun and I enjoyed it. And that
Yeah,
was
see, it's never been fun for me. Like,
I love
it's always been like I'm sitting there and I'm like, when you like do a whip it and you get like that, like wah wah wah. But it's like for 5 hours. I'm like in the wah wahs. It's not fun for me. It's just
Yeah,
I've
it's
never.
it's yeah, obviously you're a lightweight, so obviously
Yeah.
you need some kind of really sativa, which is really light. And I would probably suggest like Blue Dream or something like that because
Mhm.
it's not very strong. It's just real light sativa. And really light sativa, just take a hit or two, and that's all you need. See, people are like, oh, smoke. Just take a hit or two. It gives you the effects that you want because sativa is meant to bring you up and uplifting, not necessarily a couch potato, and that's what
Yeah.
you have to, you know what I mean? Like there's different things now.
Yeah, I mean, I've dabbled with CBD and stuff, but honestly,
I don't
since I've
know.
come off of CBD, it's been, I want to say like 4 months since I've done any CBD because I was using it to sleep. My sleep pattern was completely messed up. And now I'm completely off of everything that is, mind or mood altering. If I do have a drink, it's very sparingly. And I noticed, the last couple of weekends, I went out with my sister and some friends, and she got ordered a couple pitchers of margaritas, and of course, I just barely sip. But even that barely sipping, I don't like the way I feel. Um, you know, even just drinking one, and then I wake up and I'm dehydrated. It takes me days to get back to my regular vibe, my high vibe of feeling good.
Yeah.
So even one drink, just, I mean, because there's no other consequences other than I just don't like the way it makes me feel.
Same.
Because I don't drink more than, two drinks if I do really drink. But the consequences that I do feel are spiritual. I feel a disconnection. I feel a lowering of my vibe. I feel um just out of sorts, and it takes me a while to get back. And even when I do set those intentions, which I do, um, it's still, I'm still ingesting something and putting it in my body that is a lower pH, which lowers my immune system. It lowers my alkalinity in my body. So I'm working on trying to get my stomach back right.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it for me.
It's not, and they know that too, also. But we also agree that the things that they put in our food and drinks and stuff, in the air and stuff, and the deodorant and our shampoos and soap and everything
As
that
I'm eating twigs, just to,
in there,
we're talking
it,
about this. I've got twigs that are coming out of
well,
my
when
face.
it's funny when they add other things to your body, it affects it. It reacts with the things that are already in your body. So if you already have things in your body that it has possibilities to work with, it's going to, and that's why I'm always like, oh, don't trust the government and stuff. Well, there's a dang reason for it. And I saw what they did to my mom. And so when you see things and have an awareness of things, you can't go back to sleep again. You can't go I mean, you can deny it for a while. I mean, we can all go in denial, and also
Yeah, and I think we do go through a period of cognitive dissonance where we just don't want to face it, and we're like, it's too
we
much.
just
And I think that happens a lot where we're faced with all of this truth, but there's still that thought in the back of the mind that we just don't want to look at it. So, you're like, there's no going back to sleep. It's just a choice to not look, a choice to not deal with it yet. But we're going to deal with it. What?
it's come up. It will come up because we
And
all
it'll
are going
keep coming
to.
up until you're ready to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was looking in my box at my cards because I think I scratched the crap out of myself.
Yeah, it looks like you're bleeding.
I
A little
did.
blood offering there. Sorry,
Please.
I'm just totally kidding. Totally kidding.
Yeah,
For anybody that might take that as the wrong way, you never know who's watching. You know what I mean? Like, no, we're not into satanic
obvi-
practices here.
obviously need to cut my nails. But oh yeah, remember that thing I shared yesterday about the nails, getting our nails done?
Hmm.
And then it totally like lessens the light that we have in our hands and our fingers. So now I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to get my nails done. I've always just been a worker, and so when I get my nails done, it slows down my typing. It gets in the way of my building skills and my writing skills and my painting skills. So I'm like,
Yeah, I've never been a
I
fan of
like,
nails. If I
yeah,
do anything, it's
it's
just a little bit of nail polish, but that's very rare and it comes right off. I'm not a girly girl. Not like that.
No, it's funny, and that's kind of us being balanced in our masculine, though, because, just like my dad knew I was balanced in my masculine since I was a child. I've always had both, like, at play. And so when I was older, and this I didn't quite understand, but when I was older and in my first marriage, I was like, I have to have my bridesmaids pink. And I didn't understand that because I was always a black and white and gray person. Why? And that was my masculine, is the gray and white and black, but then the colorful part is my feminine, and I didn't understand that at the time, but that was my feminine coming out saying I want a chance to come out and be a part of this. And so yeah, so it's kind of funny, isn't it? That's where the pink came from. I was like, why did I choose pink? Because I was always black and white and gray.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, that's my feminine coming out.
Yeah, my bridesmaids were in teal, or like a teal turquoise, like aqua, like this color. This was my wedding color.
Nice. Nice. I like that color. That's so beautiful. My second
One of my
wedding,
favorites.
I
This
didn't
one's
have
my
dresses.
husband's favorite color, and then this one's one of my favorite colors. we got
Awesome.
to, we of course we got to represent the 80s.
Yeah, I love it. Seriously, yeah, no, my second one, we didn't have dresses. We just got married in the backyard. My
Right.
dad does it, my dad did a little, I don't know what you call them, those arches with flowers, and we
Mhm.
did it in our backyard. And my friend did she did the official, whatever. She was the
Appreciated.
yes, thank you. I can't even speak. But yeah, it's so cute. I
Well,
know
how
my
could you speak with this? I mean, look at that. It's so sweet.
adorable. Adorable. He's so happy dog. Happy
He's
dog.
like, Mom's paying attention to me instead of just talking on her thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was time for me to like back off for a second. I felt it like, okay, spirit. So,
So
I was just
tomorrow I start. I'm supposed to meet with my friend to begin our adventure in creating tarot, oracle, whatever. I'm not sure what the theme will be
uh,
yet. She said something about energy. Obviously, some kind of energy healing deck where my artwork will be on the cards. And oops, no scratching me, please.
that's
Can you get
awesome.
down? Now she scratched me, or you got to scratch?
No shit, seriously.
Yeah. All right, get
Mm,
down. Get down. Thank you.
I guess
So yeah, I got to come up with some artwork. Well, I mean, I'm going to create the artwork. She's thinking that it'll probably take us between now and like October to get everything finished. Um, and I'm excited to, it's our first meet tomorrow, and we're gonna sit down and talk, and hopefully we get some idea. I think tomorrow is just about spitballing and coming up with ideas and kind of a brainstorm of what it's going to be like, and what do we want to see out of it. So I'm excited about it. I've been wanting to have my artwork featured in some way through something, so I think this would be a great way. And then I've got quite a few people on Facebook, on my groups and stuff, that I can reach out to and say, "Hey, check this out." So, I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Like, if we're just doing our podcast and like, let's do Becky's tarot cards or Becky's oracle cards, and let's see what pops out. So, I'm excited about it. So,
that's
we'll see
it.
how that goes. But send me some good juju for that. Hopefully, it goes good.
Yeah, I have a candle going. I have my green candle going for abundance and money, and I lit a white sage incense as well. But I've been burning sage and Palo Santo this whole time too. Kind of putting up protection because we could all use it. We could all use the high vibes right now because everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through
Oh,
something.
and Mercury retrograde is over. Woohoo!
God, yeah, we're done with it for now.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Well, that's why we were waiting. She wanted to wait until the eclipses had passed. Mercury retrograde. Can't talk either. Mercury retrograde had passed before we started on a new adventure. So I'm extremely looking forward to it. And in my Reiki share this morning, the lead lady, she was saying that good things are coming, good things are on the rise. And
like
when
I
she
have
was
contact too. I'm waiting. I've been waiting to work with her for a few years now. We've been kind of going back, but it's going to happen soon. Like we have both been kind of in a resting period, and she's doing work, and so it has a lot of it's going to be to do with my graphic design stuff too, making t-shirts and stuff. But there's so much more to do, so it's like I don't know which direction I'm going to be going in. Am I going to be the actual spiritual healer that I've been training for, or am I going to do so? I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's why I said we're being like, I feel this pull, and it's not like it's it kind of is painful. I can't say it's not. It is kind of painful. It is a painful stretching of letting go of what doesn't serve you, letting go of who you used to be, letting go of all these ideas that don't work, letting go of just so much in the past, and being stretched. And that's why I'm open for being the graphic designer. I'm also open for being the counselor. I'm also open for being the healer, or being, the tarot. I like do so much stuff. And so it's like spirits try to say, like, just slow down and trust, because it's going to be all right. A lot. I think I'm healing for like so many people right now. But it's true. Just let it be. And allow yourself to feel, because we always shut down our emotions and we always stay busy, but you need to give yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, just allow yourself to feel. Like when you first get in your car before you leave in the morning, or when you're like in your car driving and you have a moment, just feel, like turn the radio off and just sit with yourself. I feel like we all just need to just listen. What's going on in your heart? What is your heart telling you? Because I feel like right now it's this stretching of our heart, and it's energetic. It's very energetic. Obviously, we're not physically being stretched, but like energetically, it feels like we're going through the ringer. And I think like there's a lot of collective that's going through it right now. I just picked up on it really strong. Ha. I released my need to be perfect, and I center into my commitment to serve the world. More love, which is perfect. Because isn't that what we need to do, Becky? Is more love, less judgment, more love.
I think more love for ourselves. For me especially, because I'm so critical. We look in the mirror, we look down at ourselves, we are putting ourselves down constantly, oh, my body isn't the way I would want it. Oh, that person's skinnier than me, or that person's more toned than I am, or even in the opposite direction, I look better than them. We're constantly comparing and contrasting, like constantly have to base our worth on the way that our physical body looks. And it's like, I'm so tired of it. My worth has nothing to do with what I look like. This is just an expression. This is not who I am. This is just the car that I'm driving. I'm the driver. But, just because I'm got a couple of dings, and, my color's not perfect, and, maybe I'm a little dirty because I've been through a couple of mud puddles, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
clean up. You know, it doesn't mean I can't clean up nicely, and it does. I could switch vehicles. You know what I mean? Like, I could switch vehicles. I could fix this vehicle up, or next time I could wind up driving a Maserati, or I could wind up driving a Pinto. You never know what you're going to be dealt in the physical. Somebody said to me the other day, because she was asking about weight loss and nutrition and that kind of thing with my oils, and she said, "Well, if that's true, then how come you look like you do?" And I'm like,
I know.
like, well, first of all, you don't know me. Like, you don't know what I've gone through, or what I'm going through, or what I'm detoxing from. maybe that's not my goal. Maybe I don't want to be a skinny supermodel. You know what I mean? Maybe
I don't
I'm
want to be a skinny
content.
super bitch like you.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Well, no, she wasn't. She was,
I know. I get it.
bigger than I was, but but it's like, stop making judgments on somebody just because I have the information doesn't mean maybe I don't want to be, whatever, or maybe I'm working towards something. You know what I mean? We need to be kinder to the people that we're talking to because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I kept thinking about it the next day. I'm like, why is this eating at me? Like, what is this? What is
It's
going on?
because she spit her shit on you and it was
Yeah.
literally filling into your energetic field.
Yeah. Well, that's what I realized that was that was how she felt about herself. That it had nothing to do with me. That she's walking around like judging everybody based on the way that they look because she's judging herself based on the way she looks. And I mean, hard. Like I could feel that energy hard, and it really triggered me to look at some things differently. And that self love, you know what I mean? I don't want to be a rail. I don't want to be a toothpick. My husband would not want to be with me if I was teeny tiny. But I do want to be healthy. My goal is healthy.
Yeah.
Compared to where I was 4 years ago when I was on a ton of psych meds, when I was eating unhealthy, when I was doing those things, I have lost quite a bit of weight. But I have a scale, I don't get on it. I don't want to know because it
Fair
has nothing to do with the number. It has to do with how I feel in my body. Do I have indigestion? Do I have acid reflux constantly? Do I have energy? These things are becoming less and less. And for me, those are indicators that I'm moving more towards health and not towards a number. Because you can be 110 pounds and die tomorrow from a heart attack. It has nothing to do with your number on your scale. It has to do with your body's health. And so, yeah, I've got, arm flab. And yeah, I've got some extra meat on my thighs. But my husband kind of likes that. So I'm not I'm not too worried about it. No, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm learning how to love myself regardless of what I look like and realize that
shit.
my worth
Something
is
to hold on to. You gotta have something to hold on to.
I know. Well, he says what does he say? He says bone on bone don't get it or something
Yeah.
like that.
I'll pass on it.
You got to picture my husband. He has this really country accent. He's like bone on bone don't get it, So, yeah, he'd probably if he was listening right now, he'd be so mad. But yeah,
Haha.
yeah, he's real country.
but yeah, no, I agree with you because my whole idea of fasting, I've been fasting since 2020. And so the first thing that people think is that I've been not eating since 2020 because that's the programming, and then, of course not. I eat 1700 plus calories a day. So no, that's not it. But what I mean is I take care of my body. I pay attention to my body. I listen to what my body wants to eat. I ask my body what it wants to eat every single day. Um, I can step on the scale and I'm way lighter than I was. I think when I started this journey, I was at like 250, 260, and now I'm under 200. So that is a step in the right direction, but that's, like I said, that's not my goal. My goal is to be healthy. My goal is to have energy. My goal is to be able to breathe when I'm walking and exercising or going places, and to be able to go on hikes and stuff. And honestly, my parents, my mom especially, was a catalyst for me because
Mhm.
I said I don't want to end up like her. I love your mom, but I don't want to be like you. I
Sorry, my
want.
my friend just texted me and said she's going to jump in my hot tub. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if never mind. I don't know what she's never mind, she's not coming. I was like, "Are you?" I don't know. She tried calling me and I'm like, "Don't be jumping in my hot tub without me even being aware that you're coming over." But she's not coming, I guess. So, yeah,
But
that's
yeah, like honestly, how so losing weight is the side effect of fasting and becoming healthy. And
and
because
also cutting out the chemicals and the hormone blockers, the hormone disruptors. That's what I'm noticing. And, going through this detoxification process of my arm. armpits. It sounds so gross when I say it, but detoxing my armpits. I'm noticing that the skin and the like all around it is like loosening. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just tense with chemicals or whatever was, you know, inflaming it. Like it's just, and like the skin just feels like it's different. So I can feel, and it's weird when I know that I'm going to lose weight, like I see the fat disappear first, and then it's just like the skin is loose, and then it'll start to tighten. But that's kind of the process that I've been going through. Is I
Yeah, same
shrink.
here. This right here, I shrink and then it's loose and then it tightens, and you can see it right here a lot, and it's so annoying. I hate that because this part of my face I'm like really like worried about. I don't know. It's the only thing I've had, like literally my
Mine's
face.
gotten less. Mine's,
It tightens.
I noticed that the more supplements and the better that I'm taking care of myself, that my glands, it's not necessarily even our fat, it's our glands that are making us look bloated and fat because of our hormones being messed with. So, like here, my glands, of course, now that I've been touching them, they're all red. But a lot of the time when people have like a double chin and stuff, it's not even that it's a double chin, it's that their glands are swollen. It's that their lymph nodes are inflamed. It's that their hormones are being blocked. My sister, she weighs less than I do, but she's like, "Well, how come you don't have a double chin?" It's because I don't drink the amount of alcohol that you drink, because that it's messing with your hormones and it's causing this, you know what I mean?
I
So,
get flush because it does mess with your hormones. I can always tell it's messing with my hormones when I get flush. When you get like a red face, I call it red face, but it's flush. You're flushing. That is a hormonal imbalance in females, and so when you have a red face like that, it's a hormone thing, and that's what I'm working on myself now because I'm 45. I'm going on 46, so I'm working on the perimenopause stuff. So my next step is to find the supplements that are going to benefit me and support my body while I'm going through that change too. And it's all about supporting your body. It's not about, like you said, it's not about pushing your immune system or, any of that. It's about supporting what your body needs and listening to it. But we can't if we have all the from the parasites and the noise from the external world.
well, yeah. I mean, well, think about it. If you're eating food that is pumped full of hormones to make it big, you know what I mean? Like we're going to eat chicken that's plumped up because of the hormones that they've injected in the chicken to make the chicken plumper. You take that into your body, and then you go work out at the gym. You can work off the fat, you can work off the carbs, you can work off the the calories. Can you work off the hormones?
No, you
I
have
don't
to.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do something to detox your body from that, don't you?
Working out, yeah, it's on top of working out. It's like, yes, you can work out your physical body, but you also need to work out your spiritual body, your emotional body, and clean out your body as well. So it's like it's not just one thing ever. It's always just a package deal.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't notice that. Like my mom, she would always focus on her diet, but she wasn't healing her spiritual body or her emotional body. And if you're just working on your physical body, but not your emotional and spiritual body, your etheric body, there's a difference, and we're not taught how to do that, and that's why we have so many problems. We're not taught that.
Well, I remember when I want to say 19, 20, I was going to the gym. I actually worked at the gym. And I got a trainer. I got to my ideal weight. I met my goals. I was like smaller than I'd ever been. I was like, wow, this is great. And I remember thinking, all right, now what?
Yeah, now what do I
Like,
do?
it didn't fulfill that that need. You know what I mean? It didn't. I was like, okay, I still felt like there was something missing. I was just like, this is kind of pointless, and I stopped. I still followed those things, and then after my NDE, it was like I completely went, you know, all the medicines that they put me on, it completely messed me up. I mean, I just blew up like a balloon very quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
the
but
food.
before I was on all those medicines, I wasn't over 104, I think 135 to 140 pounds. My whole life I was small. And my husband, like unless he sees a picture, he doesn't believe it. He's like, you're big boned, and it's like, no, I'm not. This is the leftovers from medicine that I've been on. So it's been, I want to say, almost 4 years. I think I think May is 4 years since I got off all of the psych meds, and I've been slowly getting myself natural. And
Oh,
so it's going to take time. I mean, we're talking 10 years of straight medicines and then 4 years of not on any of those. It
I
takes a
had
long time to detox off of them.
in 7 years, 7 years in your spiritual fields, energetic fields, and 7 years in your physical body. When I first got sober off of meth, and that's what I taught. They taught us that it takes 7 years to get completely out of your body.
Mm.
But it's also your spiritual and etheric body too. So it's all of it.
Mhm.
And sorry, I'm clearing.
I know I am too. My throat is like clogged.
Good. All right. But yeah, so yeah, it's just constant, dude. I don't know why I just get going back to cleaning our body out.
I guess that's the message for today is cleanse the body. I think there's a reason for that because there's something coming.
There-
That's what I'm feeling is that our bodies need to be cleaned because it's going to be used for something important. And that when we are full of junk, and what I mean, think like I like using the
I just
expression
got the
of like,
fifth element. At the end of the fifth element where she becomes the light. I don't
I
know if
don't
you
think I've seen the whole movie.
at the fifth element, for those of you that seen it with Bruce Willis and what's her name? I can't remember her. I can't pronounce her name.
Mhm.
Anyways, at the end of the fifth element, they activate earth, air, water, fire, right? And then she's the spirit. So in the middle, they activate all that, and they are trying to stop this planet from hitting Earth. And so at the end, she's activated by earth, wind, air, and fire. And then boom, the light comes through her, out her mouth, basically. Well, it might come out, obviously, our crown probably, but um, maybe I just got this visualization of the light coming through us. So I don't know what that means, but and honestly, it's not it is the more crap you have in your body, the more uncomfortable the energy feels.
Mhm.
So that's what I have personally had to deal with because of like my weight and stuff like that, and being unhealthy and having crap in my body. It's uncomfortable, and the more energy comes in our body, the more uncomfortable that feels. So we're all, like I said, being pulled in a direction to cleanse
Mhm.
and empty your body. Even my husband's been more emotional and more cleaning his energy body, his emotional body out, because I feel like you're right. And so a lot of people might be called to just be emptying your body and crying and stuff, and that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. People might be feeling like they're having a midlife crisis. People feel, and they call it a midlife crisis, but me and my counselor both agree that it's an awakening.
Wait,
They call
it's
them.
funny. My husband was saying the other or yesterday that he wants to get on hormone balancing medication and stop drinking. And I was like, if you stop drinking, then you don't need to balance your hormones. Like because there's estrogen, you're literally giving yourself female hormones being
Yeah,
macho.
I don't get it. It's
So,
true.
but I'm
Um,
noticing the urge to want to balance. You know what I mean? Like he's wanting to feel more masculine. He has a desire to feel more masculine. He's noticing that something's not right and that he wants to be
mm.
activated in that way. So maybe he's not saying it in those words, but I can feel that from him.
Well, I just
Um,
by activations too. That reminds me because I feel like, and mine, he told me like a few weeks ago that he was sitting on the roof doing a roof, and he's like, all of a sudden, I felt like. He's like, I just felt like all these ideas came to my head, and I'm like, wow. So like, they're really experiencing a third eye awakening.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's been a huge shift I've noticed in my husband this Mother's Day. Um, I mean, he pulled out all the stops. My husband has never planned a date, never, never anything. Next weekend, he's already planned our, our wedding anniversary, taking me out to dinner, planned the baby, like making plans for my mom to watch my daughter, like he's taking the initiative. This is not like my husband to do this kind of stuff. I'm the one that does all the planning. I'm the one that does all the pushing. I'm the one that makes all the things happen, and he just shows up. Even to the point of our wedding where he's just like, show me where, tell me where to be, you know? And so I'm not used to him like coming in the kitchen behind me, putting his hands on my waist and literally pushing me out of the kitchen and saying, go sit down. And he's like, get out of here and go sit down. I'm making dinner. I'm cleaning the dishes. And then I wake up and he's, and I texted him because I had a feeling he was up to something. And I'm like, hello? And he's like, do not come out of the bedroom. And I said, well, am I allowed to take a bath? So I went to go take a bath and I smell sausage cooking and he's making breakfast. And I'm like, who are you? Like,
In
you
my
know,
house.
yeah, like I'm not complaining. I'm totally grateful. I went to bed last night and I was like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I love my life. I love my life. Because it's like the more you are grateful for it, the more you're going to have it. So, um, I was just like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
I love
Like,
it.
I want some more. Give me more. I like it.
I got spoiled too. Yeah, because my husband knows, like, because I got left out of like this thing, and so like he understands like my feelings and stuff. So like now he's like trying to understand my feelings and stuff anyway. So like he knew I was super fucking hurt because of what happened, and I was like really upset because there's certain there I have my reasons, and they're valid, very valid fucking reasons. We'll just put it that way. So anyways, I got to chill most of the day, but it was still back and forth a little bit, because we're rocky at the moment. So he's going through an awakening. I'm going through an awakening. And I feel like for me, just allowing him to have his awakening, but it's so hard for him. He doesn't understand how to hold space, and he doesn't know how to cut attachment, and he doesn't know how to like not react to my emotions, and how he doesn't know how to not attach to my emotions. So when I am having emotions, like I'm just processing something because it came to me to be processed, he's always attaching to it. And because of that, it's causing issues. I'm having issues. I'm like, just let it go, let it go, let it go. I have to feel it and let it go. Don't attach to how I feel. It does nothing to do with you. It has nothing
That's
to
a
do with.
lot of why I think Alan tries to shut me down when I'm feeling something. Is not because he doesn't want to be me to be hurting, because he can feel it too, and he doesn't know how to process emotions. He doesn't understand that I do. They don't know how we do it.
He doesn't.
It scares them. It terrifies them because the smallest little emotion that they've held on to since they were 10 years old is still biting their butt today. And we're like, just
Let
feel
it
it.
go. I
Feel it
just
and let it go. Just experience it and then it's gone. Instead of experiencing it for 30 years, how about just experience it one time and then never think about it, feel it again? I mean, wow,
I
what a concept.
don't
But you can't say, I mean, it took us years to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that simple. It's simple, but it's not that simple. You can't just, click, it makes sense. But I think that's our job, our role in their lives is to just be that shining light that points them in the direction that they take the path to walk on.
think
We're
gotta
just
choose.
the guide and they're just following their own path, but
It's
we're
so
just
hard
kind of
because
lighting the way.
you can't focus on making me happy.
Mhm.
And this is the hard part. You can't focus. No one can focus on making me happy. I need to make me happy. It's my responsibility to make myself happy, to be happy. That's my responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility to make me happy. So him trying to make me happy is pushing me away more because I don't want that. I want him to work on himself. And he doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
It's right
Yeah,
now
because it feels like he's just placating you or playing the game instead of being authentic and working on what really needs
he
to be
needs to
worked
work
on.
off. Yeah. And that's why I'm trying to point him in the right direction to his counselor, but he has a counselor now. And so that's what, and it's a good thing. It's not
Yeah.
a bad,
I mean,
but
I'm right there. The fact that he's going, I mean, not to talk about it, but like right there, that's a miracle. because I've watched this process and I've
I-
experienced,
a year.
what it sounded like, even a few months ago where it's like absolutely not. No, no, no. So the fact that it's happening is a miracle. So,
And it's for himself. That's why I told him he needs to do it for himself. I said, you can't have expectations on me. Just focus on your own. It's basically your own program. Like, this is Joy's program. That's Joel's program. I can't work your program. You can't work my program. You have to work it for yourself, work it for myself. Wherever it leads, it's going to lead. I know for a fact that we're meant to be in each other's lives for a long time because we have kids. So we have quantum entanglement that's not going to just disappear. You know what I mean? So you have to work on yourself so that y'all can work on yourself and I can work on myself.
exactly. I know. Well, we've had a lot of space. I think that's what it is they've given us so much space to where we had to figure out how to do things on our own. And now that they're like, they're kind of like, Mama, tell me what to do. And it's like, no, figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? Like, because we've always been the answer for every question that they have. And now we're like, no, no, you need to figure it out. And
It's
the
oh,
like, yeah, like no longer am I going to be your mom. No longer am I going to be your caretaker. I'm going to be my own mom and my own caretaker, the mom to my inner child. I'm done babying a grown man.
and the thing is, I learned this over the weekend or in the past week is if you can't say no to a person, that means they've been manipulating you. Yeah, when I first went to therapy, like the very first time, like I was in AA and my sponsor really wasn't for it because they always try to put you on medicine. And she was like, you don't need medicine, although I probably could have used it. Anyways, the whole idea is that I couldn't tell my mom no. And I'm like, I can't tell my mom no. Like, what is this issue? And that is 100% fact
Mm,
stating that my mom was a narcissist. Straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you can't say no to a person, they're manipulating you. So I have to practice saying no in my relationship with everything.
mhm.
And believe me, I've gotten opposition.
Well,
I've actually gotten opposition.
that's the
I said
thing.
no.
Try. Okay, when somebody asks you to do something for them and you have a hard time saying no, turn it around and ask them to do that for you and see how quickly they say no. See how quickly they have no problem saying no. You know, like it's astounding. My mother, a couple weeks ago, she was moving into her new house, calls me, even though I had an appointment. I had to rush. I almost missed my appointment. I had to take a Zoom call in the car in her parking lot. Um, she wanted me to bring her coffee because she was going to die if she didn't have coffee while she's moving.
Oh my
Right.
God.
The next day, I'm working, and I said, "Mom, I didn't bring a lunch. Could you drop by since you're going to pick up my sister who lives literally 2 seconds from my work and just drop me off a bag of chips or something?"
Nope.
Oh no, I
Couldn't.
can't today. We don't have time.
Yeah, it's like, forget it, dude.
It's like, so you want me to run across town to get you coffee because you're dying, but I literally just asked for a bag of chips because I was stuck at work with no food. And it's funny how that it doesn't go both ways. You know what I mean? So you have to think about that when you feel bad for saying no to somebody. They don't feel bad about saying no to you. They don't care. They just say no and then they move on. So, not to say that we should be callous and uncaring, but we should be more caring about ourselves
Should
than
have
what other
boundaries.
people think.
You're allowed to say no. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You're allowed to say no. And if people can't accept the fact, and we really have been raised in a society where the word no is like, oh God, oh, we don't want to hear it, but it's good for us to hear. So if you haven't heard the word no, maybe you need to think about that.
Yeah, my husband has no problem telling me no whenever I want to do anything. I was like, "You're
I know,
Mr.
and
No
people tell
Man.
me
You're
too.
Mr. No Man." I'm like, "I'm yes." But at the same time, I have to be grateful because he's kept me grounded where I would be like, woo, floating off with the fairies because, that's just where I want to be. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not going to just sell the house and buy an RV and, travel the world. Like, how are we going to maintain that in 10 years? Like, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, he's the practical one. And I'm the one that's like, let's just do it.
But that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. It's balanced. And we are always in our upper chakras and they're always in their lower chakras. And
Mhm.
that's why when we come together, it balances, for if you're in the right relationship. In a bonded, I should say a bonded relationship, because it really has nothing to do with twin flame or counterparts and shit. It really has to do
I
with a
don't,
bonded
I mean,
relationship.
I loosely follow that kind of stuff, but I don't, give it too much attention. If it is true, then it is true and it's going to work itself out. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. If we came here to be with someone who are our souls joined with, and it's going to work out. Why chase it? Why, like, hunt for, oh, are you my twin flame? Are you my twin flame? I think this person, and I think that, are you? If you
It's
are, then you're gonna know it's going to happen. That person's going to be in your life or not in your life.
like
And when it's meant to be, it'll be. It's not going to be the
if you
struggle
come
of,
from a place of desperation, then it's a guaranteed false flame. If you come from a place of desperation, it's a guaranteed false flame. If you come from a place of desperation, you're going to get in a false flame. I will repeat that until the day I fucking die. You have to work on yourself and be 100% in your body. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. The interior, your insides reflect your outside. Everything that happens inside, it takes a minute, but it will come to the outside. Everything, you can't not work on yourself. This
well,
is
yeah, anything that you're looking for outside of you and not inside of you, you're not going to find. You're going to find a whole lot of karma. You're going to find a whole lot of lessons to learn. You're going to find a whole lot of direction arrows that are pointing inside of you
trust me.
until you look inside of you.
Our ancestors say there's always work to be done. There's always karma to be cleared. So it's up to you to make the decision if you want the best thing for your life. And you got to work on yourself. You got to stop trying to make other people happy and be a people pleaser. You got to work on yourself and work on being your own people pleaser. Please your own person. That I
Exactly.
don't know where I get from it. Please your own people. That's what I was.
Oh, it'll please myself. Oh, yeah.
Yourself.
Not in that way. Anyway, well, I think I've got a few minutes before my daughter gets home. School's going to be out soon, so that's going to be interesting. My daughter's all over the neighborhood, so I don't think it'll interfere with my portion of the videos. I don't know what yours will look like with your
It'll be
kids.
fine.
Okay, so we
It'll
can
be.
continue. Woohoo!
So I'll do my reading on the way out here real quick.
Okay.
So we got the Queen of Wands, very fiery energy, beyond illusion. And then I got the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest energy in the whole deck, the slowest energy in the whole deck. And then I got the Queen of Cups. I got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. This is you, though, Scorpio energy, water energy. Anyways, I also got completion and hair falling out. Okay. And intensity, which is the Knight of Wands. Rick. I feel like like I said, the collective's really just going through a huge shift, but it's a very slow shift. It's not like everyone's like, oh, the solar flash and stuff. If
No,
it
it's
happens,
been
it
it's
happens.
been like a fog. Like, I've been in slow motion. I think since the eclipse, I've been just like and being sick, and like, it's just been like I've been dragging to the point where this morning I felt good. I went to my Reiki share. I came home and I'm like, what do I do with myself? Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, I've been so out of sorts that I'm good now. Like, I don't even know. I'm like, oh, and the first thought is like, I got to start a new routine. It's like, no, I just need to do what I feel like doing. So what did I do? I went out, I laid out in the sun for an hour and I meditated
There you go.
until I got too hot. And then I came in and now here we are. So
That's what we're doing. But
yeah.
yeah, so we're being asked to, we're slowing down a little bit. It's not a bad thing. I feel like if you are slowing down a little bit with your progress, it's not that your progress is slowing down. It's just that your changes that have happened on the inside of you take a while before they can see them on the outside. And so it takes a while when you're manifesting that change. And I know I touched on that a little bit, but I'm really getting it strongly with the cards because this energy is super intense that we're getting. And it's the energy that we're getting. It's not only super intense, but it is it's like that's not a word. Transformical. Transformical is not a word. It's like this energy is full of transforming magic. Codes. The codes that are coming through right now are like magical, and it takes a minute before they show up in the external world, because it just does. When you go from 5D 7D up there to, it slows down. So it's going to take a little bit of time for the energy, not the energy, but the things that you've been manifesting to come out. But they're fucking coming. All I know is it's fucking coming. Seriously, we are beyond illusions. You guys have been getting visions already of your fucking future. You guys already know what's coming.
I hope it's not a fucking future, though.
Visions. But I feel like like I said, it's not anything that's going to be an overnight change. This is stuff that we work towards. Everyone's like, oh, this solar flash. Well, we're already getting the solar flash. It's already here. We get solar flash.
Which solar flash? You know?
Yeah, we get them every single day.
I think each of us has our own solar flash that triggers different things, for each of us. And I don't think it's just one. I think it's multiple.
It is. Well, we all do. And it's because every solar flare, the energy increases just ever so much. Because if we take it all in at once, it's super overwhelming. And
well, yeah, and you've got to peel back the layers of the onion. You can't just burn the onion to a crisp. You got to just do one layer at a time,
Exactly. Try to see past what you see in the physical and see what it means to you energetically. I don't know what that means, but we're all being asked to look at the situations that are presenting so that we can
clearing because I'm yawning. Ugh.
Yeah, you are. But real quick, I will go ahead and my little affirmations. I speak with confidence because the world needs my light. And this goes back to where I said in the car, like when you first start your day, I begin my day with love. Try to focus your intention on your heart chakra and just imagine when you first get in your car even and just sitting there with your hands on the steering wheel and just close your eyes for a second and just imagine source filling you with white light energy. It's just amazing. Hi, honey. And then I can release ancient pain simply by feeling it. Weren't we talking about that? Just feel it. Whatever comes up, feel it. Don't try to figure it out, and then let it go and honor it. Honor it. And the last one I got is I dish out compliments sincerely and liberally. Ooh, so we're being so guess what? I guess we're going to be dishing out some compliments.
You're so beautiful, girl.
Oh, you know. My dogs are sleeping. I was surprised you guys didn't hear mine dreaming earlier. He was like barking in his sleep.
All right, honey, your nails are sharp. We got to get Daddy to trim those today, huh?
I'm the one that does all the nails here in the house because I did vet tech. I was a vet tech school student for a while, but that wasn't something I wanted to do. It was
Yeah.
just, it was something that I needed to go to get the physical anatomy. So I got my animal anatomy class done. And then I also got my human anatomy classes done for medical too. So I'm like,
That's funny. I've done
like,
the human. I was going to be a medical assistant, so that
yeah,
was. I did all of that fun stuff. But it's funny how we do all of these little training courses. But like for me, I never completed anything. But like even going to psychology classes and stuff, like I needed that. I
yeah,
needed to
volunteer.
understand how the neurons in the brain work for whatever reason. And now it's funny because when I'm meditating and like really connected, I'm seeing the neurons in my brain connecting like the Tesla like the electric thing, like going off, and like I'm closing my eyes, and all I see is like the little like
Yeah,
things going
exactly.
everywhere, and I'm like, those are my neurons connecting in my brain, like the
Those are
synapses
all,
that are connecting.
I
And
love,
had I not, you know, taken a course in psychology and anatomy and all of that stuff, I wouldn't know certain things that I know. So I wasn't necessarily. It's kind of like with the mediumship thing. Like I just take bits and pieces. It doesn't mean that's what I'm going to do you know I'm just
exactly.
learning different modalities, and then harnessing it into Becky, whatever Becky is going to do.
My God, yeah, no, I don't know what I'm gonna be when I grow up still. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And I'm 5. Like I've always been like that. I don't know what I'm gonna be when I grow up
I
because I'm
know somebody asked me what I did today. What do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a mom, I'm an herbalist, I'm an artist, I'm a Reiki practitioner.
a
Like
stay-at-home mom. I'm a
I'm
healer.
everything. I'm everything. I'm nothing. I'm all of it. None of it.
Yeah, I'm a healer. I'm a healer of the self, and that's what I said even on my
I'm
Facebook page.
alive. I'm alive. I'm dead. Just
I
kidding.
keep us
Like that.
alive
I was thinking that dog.
whatever I need to be at any given moment. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm flexible. So, all right. Well, we're at 8101. So I'm gonna jump off and get 5 minutes before Chelsea comes home. And I don't know what day we
Maybe
do this again, but we'll talk. We'll figure it out.
we'll be back, you guys. Have a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we'll see you next
Bye.
time. Bye, guys.